What are you turning yourself on for?
My microphone.
Okay, we're just having casual talk now because we are live
Oh,
on
okay.
our blog.
Well,
How's your day?
But
You know what gets me? You put out this thing about imitation,
yeah.
and stalking. It's stalking. When
Well,
you friend request somebody for the purpose of you might as well copy paste
yes.
because you don't have a single thought in your mind of your own.
Well, I mean, I think
You,
that
no, not well. Don't try to candy coat
okay. So
this crap.
I'm so petty. Petty is as petty does, and I try not to be, but there comes a point, and I've done it with so many people
Rachel,
before.
do you know how many people I've had to block?
I know.
And I don't want to.
No, I
But
like
I'm like,
people.
come on.
I I really
I
like
can't
people.
do all your marketing and your postings.
Right. And yeah, you do. You go, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but like at some point, like,
It's
hey,
stalking.
let me be me and not
Or
have to show that, like, I don't want to have to raise my hand and be like, hey, we were the original
you don't need
ones.
to be me.
Right. Right. Be you.
You profess you don't want to be me, so quit being me.
All right.
Anyway,
That's the
I
pettiness.
could go on that for 500 years.
Oh man, that could be like a full like
That could be a
month
six
worth of
hour
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think today what I wanted to kind of talk about was we've been running into a lot of first time home buyers that get out there and
Mhm.
they walk into the first home and oh my god, it's everything. It's
Well,
everything, and then they panic.
and let's get into the first time home buyer right now, because a lot of our first time home buyers are buyers that could not buy for the past 3 years, right? They were outbid in the market,
Yeah.
and you had to have just a substantial amount of cash on hand to purchase a property. So these are all people that finally get to come out of the woodworks, are able to compete, are able to find
Yes.
houses, and now they're
Now
panicked.
now they're panicked. Now
Yeah.
we need to see 45 homes
Yeah.
before we make a decision.
Right, right. And they want to see those homes, but then they don't want to offer on anything
Uh-uh.
right off the bat because they think something better is going to come along.
We just had it happen.
Yes.
We just had it happen. They went to the open house, then they called us, then we showed it, then they wanted to see it again.
Right.
A day later, after I get a text from the other agent saying we have an offer on the table,
Right.
6 hours later, we're going to make an offer, and then they want to go and lowball it.
Right.
Well, it was already gone.
It was already gone.
It didn't matter.
They didn't get an offer.
They didn't know. They couldn't even put an offer in.
Well, and then I had the one last week where, and it is, I want to express that I am sensitive to your first time out, your first time home buyer.
Freaking out.
It's your first time out. Took a buyer out. He wanted to see 4 properties. And that's the max usually we try to allow in a day for them so they don't get confused, right? Unless it's somebody from out of town, and then we know we
Yeah.
have to
Oh,
that
yeah.
down. But we go look at 4 properties. The very first property we look at,
That's
stunning
it.
home.
Yep.
Beautiful home. The next 3 we're comparing to that home.
Right.
So what is the question we always give everybody?
If it goes away tomorrow, would you be disappointed?
Correct. And he says, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to see a few more.
Is that something you'd like to offer on? I think if you're going to be disappointed, or we're going to continue to compare every home to that home, do we want to go back and view it a second time? Do we want to offer on it, or do we want to go? I would like to look at a couple more homes before making a decision. Okay. The next day. Okay, let's go view it again. It's gone.
It's gone. It's under contract.
And it had been on the market for 35 days at that point. So they have this theory in their head, oh, hey, it's been out there 60 days. It'll wait for me.
It won't wait.
But
there's a rule. There is an unwritten rule in real estate. That house can sit out there for 6 months.
Right.
Until someone likes it.
Absolutely.
And then it's gone.
Well, and thankfully for him, another house
there
came
was
out
another.
on the market. The house was on the market for 2 hours, and we were at it. We saw it, and we wrote on it. He understood the importance. Now, I also want to say with that, even with it only being on the market 2 hours, we were still able to get a good chunk of his closing costs negotiated to be paid. So I think people have this misconception that the longer it's on the market, the lower they're going to offer, the more concessions. But time and true for 18 years. Just because it's there does not mean it hasn't been offered on.
Oh, that's right.
And
That's
so
right.
it doesn't mean, oh, nobody else wanted it. It just means they have not come to a
And
negotiation.
they have not agreed
They have not
on an
agreed to
offer they've
something.
received.
And it
Right.
could be that they're just flat not negotiating with people,
Right.
and they could have received several. We just don't know.
We don't know.
Why
we don't know.
it's sitting
I had
there.
that one. Showed them the house. Oh, well, it wasn't their first house. I took them to two, and the wife wasn't here yet. So we're gonna wait. Well, all gung ho about this house. Well, that one was gone. So found another one. The wife loved it. He loved it. Fit everything they wanted. We had to go look at 13 more homes.
Right.
And they still wouldn't go back for a second visit because they wanted to add more. And I just scheduled it.
Yeah.
And I said, let's go. I go, because the longer you guys are out here doing this, the odds of this house being there are slim to none.
Right.
So they bought it.
Right.
But, and I don't want people to think we're being pushy and saying, oh, you need to buy it. It's first one. Oh, you keep comparing. It's not pushy. It's understanding the market.
Right.
And they are first-time home buyers, and they don't get that.
Right. And that's our job. And, it's hard because you're trying to gain their trust during this process to say, hey, I know this is what I do every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Every single day of my life, I work with all kinds of people just like you that have the same thing.
Same thing.
And, it's so disappointing for us, right? We'll hear it out here and go, dang it, you just hear this loud, because it went under.
Because they're heartbroken.
And we told them, and we're heartbroken for them. It's like, gosh, that is so hard.
We're heartbroken.
Because we have to be the one to break the news.
Yeah.
And then, but we have to try to figure out how to keep their spirits high. And it's like,
please,
it's okay.
we have to go find another comparable house.
Immediately.
That's not always easy.
It's so not easy. Because even with all the inventory we have, I still feel like inventory is still slim.
It is.
So like
it is.
We have inventory.
It's a very selective inventory.
Correct.
So
and the price points are difficult.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes.
I mean, they really are. And it doesn't matter what price point you're in. The amount of options you have aren't that as many as people think there are.
I am going to say this. The one thing I think that I can't seem to get across when they tell us what they want, when they tell us what their budget is, if they're, let's just say they're FHA, okay, because I always talk BA, but let's say they're FHA approved. I set them up on a search for FHA homes, and they trail off. And then I start getting Zillow, and then I get Redfin, and then I get Realtor.com.
Well, I mean, it comes to that trust point, right? They think like, oh, you're not giving me
and
anything.
I get it, not even in the area. So, yeah, and it's a trust factor, but we are giving you everything that is listed for sale with that box checked.
Right, just to eliminate
that it'll go FHA.
Noise.
So you don't start with the Redfin and the Zillow and all these houses that won't qualify for your loan.
You try to eliminate the noise. Now, I'll tell people, especially the first ones that I know, look, I know your budget's going to be tight and we're going to have to go here. When they're looking in rural areas, I will tell them, hey, send me a screenshot of that house, because a lot of times I'll find in the rural areas, they don't put proposed financing in the MLS. And I can look at it and engage, and hey, I'm going to make 20 phone calls to see if this will go for you. But yes, it comes to that trust. Like I'm giving you what there is. And sometimes that's not always a lot.
Have you run into, because I run into this a lot, have you run into, they've gone on the Zillow, they've dove in, I'm Zillowing it, on the Zillow.
I like the title of the Zillow.
The Zillow. They've gone on the Zillow or the Google.
Right.
And they've calculated their payment.
Oh, I hate it.
And what happens there?
Then you look like they
act like we're cheating them.
Well, they come aggressively at you sometimes, and they're like, but my calculations say this. And I'm like, okay, let's go back to it, read the fine print. Because, again, like any sales
taxes and insurance.
It's not including taxes and insurance. It's usually including a 20% down payment that's not even a relevant amount. So, yeah, they get really aggressive about it. And I'm like, hold on.
Remember the guy that slammed his hand on the desk?
He was really...
And I said, oh, Sir, we are done.
Because we wouldn't agree with them. And it was like, I just had one with that. It was 230,000. And I go, okay, you told me
You're looking at 2,200 a month.
your budget was this. This is over
Yeah.
what you want to be. No, it says 1,600. Well, yeah,
Sure.
it sure does with 20% down and not having your taxes and insurance. And so, okay. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes, we scan through things so fast and yeah. And
So call us.
call us.
Call me. I promise you I'll pull out my little thing and tell
Carl's
you.
mortgage calculator. Like
Palm Agent.
everybody.
Palm Agent. Well, you don't have that, but Carl's mortgage calculator. Oh, we're going to have this weird thing going on behind us.
Yeah, with the.
Yeah, the neon looks like we're in a bar.
No. Where's the shot?
Where's the shots?
It is Friday.
It's Friday.
But you want me to turn it off real quick?
Yeah, maybe. It's
Okay.
kind of acting weird, huh? We've done this whole thing with that going
All right.
kind of bizarre.
Well, we are TRRT, so there you go.
There we go.
All right.
Well, now it's clear.
All right. Well, here we are.
Well, anyway, you're going to get what you get today.
Well, that's the point of a podcast, right? It's off the
Well,
cuff,
our
here we are.
refrigerator says sometimes you've got to say cluck it, and we'll just say cluck it on that first half of this. But
for a home buyer, I would suggest Carl's mortgage calculator is a great calculator. It's quick and easy.
It's quick
for
and
you to just
easy.
have a general
you can
idea.
put in your insurance, put in
Right.
your taxes.
And when we start a home search for any buyer, we never start on budget.
No.
I can have a pre-approval.
No.
And okay, Shepherd was a good one for that. Their pre-approval was $500,000.
Right.
They bought $204,000.
Right.
Right. And it was because they wanted to fit. We always ask the question. I don't
care what your approval is. What payment?
What payment do you want? And when we ask what payment do you want, we're including taxes and insurance within that payment.
Yes.
Where are you
what
comfortable?
Payment? And then often they say, okay, up my payment.
Right. Well, and we're not those salespeople. We never have been. I think it's what helps us stay in the business and gain people's trust, as we keep saying. Is because I'm not going to push you over your budget.
No.
Nobody should be house poor. You should be comfortable in your home with whatever payment you have chosen for your family. Now, if you want to push it, then you push it. I did it.
I'm not pushing it.
But, whoa.
Well,
that was a nice
somebody just knocked down our sign.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right. It says everybody was kung fu fighting, and apparently they are. So.
Fair. Fair. So whenever you're looking at your budget, just understand when you give us your budget, we're going to be figuring in your taxes and insurance. Don't make yourself house poor. Trust us on your search.
Trust us on your search.
We are putting in your proposed financing.
Yeah.
We are available for the screenshots to tell you yes or no, but just understand more likely it's no.
It's probably no. If it's not on your list, it's probably a no.
Chances are.
But anyway, I just want to kind of keep this short today. I just wanted to touch base and say, look.
If you love it,
buy it.
Buy it.
Yeah.
You can still get concessions on it usually.
Yeah. Put an offer in on it because, I mean, even if, we can get it locked down for you for an option period of 10 days.
About option periods last week.
Yes.
So, unrestricted right.
Lock it down.
But get it to where nobody else is going to be able to
purchase
it.
Right.
We can at least give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
If nothing else, if you don't get it, then you tried.
You tried.
And it helps you re-gauge
what you need to do for the next one.
So, lots of inventory, but not all good inventory.
Not all good inventory.
And so still be mindful.
Still slim pickings.
We are competitive in this market, but we are still seeing concessions. And with that, it will shift again.
Oh gosh, yes.
So
yes, let the end of year pass. Get ready.
Get ready. So if you are a serious buyer, now really is a good time to purchase.
Yep, dive in.
Are getting good negotiations.
Put on your swim fins. Get on in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get in there.
And what do we always tell people? You're either going to get a price
or you're going to get concessions.
Which one do you want?
So, yeah, definitely don't go in and say, okay, this house is $200. I'm going to offer $170 and I want $10,000 in closing.
We'll do it.
And they look at me so strange because I go, okay, I know you're a buyer, but I want you to pretend and put on your seller hat.
Would you take it?
And if I send you this offer,
right,
and I want you to come down $40,000. What are you gonna do?
Right.
Not gonna do it.
You got to give them something.
Yeah, you
Something like-
throw a bone.
Throw a bone. Give them your.
Give them the
get in
price. Give them
negotiation.
price, or pay your own closing.
Right.
That's where I'm at with it.
Well, and I always tell people too. I'm like, look, try to keep the cash in your pocket.
Keep the cash in your
Because-
pocket, because they're always, if I put 5% down or 10% down, what if I go 20% down? Why would you do that?
Right.
What if your water heater blows up week 1?
Well, and with
What
that-
what if you have a family emergency
Right.
or a medical thing or whatnot? Do you want that nest egg?
Right. Well, and
So-
with the $7,000, $8,000, whatever you're trying to ask for in
$4 or
construction,
$5
it
and
may be over 30 years on a mortgage note. So
yeah, so why?
keep some cash in your
Right.
pocket. The principal balance is, it's not worth that
Mm-mm,
negotiation.
mm-mm.
That's just my 2 cents.
That's just
on it.
me. So happy Friday.
Yes.
We're gonna get back to work because we're trying to wrap everything up for the end of the week and try to take this weekend off. Try is
we
the
were
operative
scheduled for
word.
Sunday.
We
so-
were scheduled and the
Right.
freak out came, but that's okay. So anyway, if you need us, you can always call us. We've always got ourselves. You can find us at trrthomes.com. Go there. Nobody's going to bother you.
Right.
You know, we're not going to hound you to death. Maybe 45 times. Kidding. But anyway, give us a call. Have a great weekend. And that is Brick by Brick for this week. Bye.